Alright, Shalom, Shalom, Shalom. Call me Asha Priest Sabak H.O.I. on the camera, of course.
Brother in Allah.
Right, so once again, Israel, we're back with another movie review. It's been a while now. How long?
About a year and a half.
Con. Y'all know the so-called pandemic, everything kind of been shut down. And you know, Israel, the way we do our movie reviews, we like to go to the theater and we like to break it down as soon as we come out of the movie. So it's fresh in our mind, and you know, one of the dynamics to us always doing. You can't make this up.
Unbelievable.
Unnecessary noise.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
A quiet place.
Right,
The monsters would have got their asses.
Yeah, the Asians would have got his ass.
Yeah.
The monsters would have got him. Making all that damn noise.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But anyway, one of the dynamics of our movie reviews is always we go to the theater and watch it, and we do it fresh from the dome. You know what I'm saying? We might do a little research on the movie, or maybe not. We might just let it all be a surprise, and we just go in on it as soon as we see the movie and come out the theater. So some of y'all over the last year or so, you've been asking for movie reviews from stuff that was on cable, or some of the movies came direct on Amazon and things of that nature. But one of the power dynamics to our movie reviews is how we always did it like this.
Right.
As soon as we came out the theater, you know, we live in Times Square.
Right.
Sometimes we might be at another location, whatever. But that's just a little, you know, history of what kind of made our movie reviews unique.
Right.
We're unique for the sake of humility, so nobody don't get simple. Oh, you think you got the best movie reviews? You know, Israel. But it made it unique. You know what I'm saying? So we back at it now, huh?
Right,
You know what I'm saying? I think the last movie we did was
Hansel and Gretel.
It was Hansel and Gretel. Okay, that was wild. You know?
Yeah,
so last couple of times now I've been picking some little different ones. But, you know, it's all good. We had what was the other one? The Revenant.
Oh, Revenant.
The Revenant.
Right.
We had A Quiet Place. We had Quiet Place 2 tonight.
Yeah.
Hansel and Gretel. Some alternative ones. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Some you got to dig a little bit deeper in.
Hostiles.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that was another one with Gad.
Yeah.
So tonight was A Quiet Place Part 2. We're going to be reviewing the movie A Quiet Place Part 2. All right. Spoiler alert. If you haven't seen the movie, go and watch it. Check it out so you can, you know, go and watch the movie first and then come back and watch the review.
Right.
All right, because we're going to do some spoiler alerts. You can also watch Part 1. Right. If you've never seen Part 1, watch Part 1 to get a follow-up, and then watch Part 2, and then come back and check out the movie review.
Right.
All right, so that's a spoiler alert, because we're going to be going to some of the things that happen in the plot. So, of course, first and foremost, I take my notes as we go along. One main thing about the ongoing theme of Esau's post-apocalyptic movies is he's always saving the day. They're always coming back, and there's always, you know, a survival aspect with Esau. So in this particular movie, it's the apocalypse, of course. Right. And remember, in when y'all watch The Quiet Place Part 2, the first couple of minutes of it shows you what happened in Part 1 and how it got to be a post-apocalyptic world. Right. Now remember, in that first scene, John Krasinski, that's his name. That's how you say his name. I'm gonna get into him a little bit too. Right. The director, he co-wrote, directed, and also starred in the film. All right. John Krasinski. Yeah, that's his name, Krasinski. All right. So, but John Krasinski goes into the store. This is before whatever attack hit America. Right. I'm gonna show you how Esau is a liar and a damn devil, and don't want to admit that biblical prophecy is true. Right. Because remember, when he went into the store in the opening scene, when they went back, they gave you a prelude to the first part to show you, to lead you up to the second part, which was good. Because a lot of movies don't do that. Right. They'll just pick up where they left off, and you got to figure it out. You got to see part 1.
So, Lucky, to lam you back, that's why you don't necessarily have to see Part 1, because part 2 shows you what happened leading to that.
Right.
So you can actually watch part 2 without even watching part 1.
Right, and that was unique because, like
Right.
I said, a lot of movies don't do that.
Right.
They just pick up where part 1 left off, and then
Right.
maybe later in the movie they'll flash back here
Right.
and there. But The Quiet Place 2, they did that, so you really don't have to see one.
Right.
I mean, it would behoove you to see
Yeah.
part 1.
Right.
But you know, you really don't have to.
Right.
You can watch part 2 without seeing part 1 and
Right.
see what happened. All right, but notice when he went into the store and they were showing, I think it was in Singapore or Shanghai, somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere in Asia.
Somewhere in Asia, they were showing how all these people died. And he asked the Edomite, remember the Edomite, the store clerk,
Right.
the store owner, he looked shocked and scared.
Right.
He asked him, how did it happen?
Right.
He said, I don't know, some kind of bomb.
Right.
Right, so Esau, A Quiet Place Part 1 and Part 2 is very vague on how we got to this post-apocalyptic world.
Right.
But they give you hints and clues.
Right,
He said, I don't know, some kind of bomb.
Right.
What kind of bomb?
Right.
Esau? A nuclear bomb.
Right, right.
And then in Part 1, as it hits America, what happens? The dark clouds and fire come out of the sky, which
Right.
is the chariots, Yahweh second coming, but
Right.
you don't want to show that.
Right.
So you say a bomb, then you show these clouds with fire, and remember in Revelations 1, it tells you, behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him. So my point being, we know how America's going to be destroyed.
Right.
The apocalypse is going to come with the second coming of Yahweh and the nuclear destruction.
Right.
The Edomite said, he said, I don't know, some kind of bomb.
Right.
Yeah, nuclear bomb.
Right.
All right, and the chariots and the angels, which I'm going to get into, the so-called monsters
Right.
in the movie The Quiet Place, that's the angels.
Right.
All right, but you always, every time you make a movie about outer space invading America, it's always aliens.
Right,
it's
right.
not Yahweh and the angels.
Right.
It's a mother or father alien
Right.
with all their alien minions,
Right.
which is really Christ and the angels. So I'm showing you how they give you a vague way on how America and the earth was destroyed,
Right.
and it became this post-apocalyptic world.
Right.
Which there is no post-apocalyptic world. When Yahweh shall come, it's a wrap.
Right. Esau
That's
think he
it.
gonna survive.
Right, they think they're gonna survive, but no, right?
Right.
Their inward thought, Psalms, is that their houses shall continue forever.
Right.
I don't want to jump the gun because I'm gonna get to that again in the future comment.
Right.
But my point, I say all that to say, Esau, you know, they give the little clues,
Right.
but you got to figure it out.
Mhm.
That's the kind of games Hollywood play because they know the scriptures.
Right.
They know it's going to be the nuclear bombs,
Right.
and it's going to be Yahweh and the angels returning.
Right.
All right, so that dynamic was in there, you know, to open up the movie and to open up the plot and the theme of everything. Is you know, destruction has happened, it's post-apocalyptic, and now Esau. Which leads to the next point, the Abbott family.
Right.
The Abbott family. They're this, when you, I did a little reading on the plot of the movie,
Right.
and I watched a couple of trailers. But when you check out the plot of the Abbott family in the movie is that they are this family that outwitted the monsters
Right.
or angels and survived for, what was it, 474 days?
Yeah, Khan.
It was, yeah, when part 2 starts, it's 474 days.
Right.
It starts out with the day 1,
Right.
showing you when John Krasinski was still in part 1 and how everything started. All right, but it's 474 days, which basically is about a year and a half.
Right.
A little less than a year and a half. But what they're trying to say is this is always Esau's spirit, that his
Right.
pride. An average Edomite family is able to outsmart and outwit the angels and
Right.
survive.
Huh.
First of all, the angels are not going to be blind, goddamn.
Right.
You have the angels blind in the movie.
Right.
They can hear, but they can't see.
Right.
The angels of the Lord are not going to be blind.
Right.
Now, when you check out the plot of the movie, the monsters are known as death angels.
Right. Right.
All right. The monsters are called death angels. They're
Right.
That goes with Sirach 39:28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance.
Right.
All right, death angels. So now these monsters, aliens, whatever, but you call them death angels.
Right.
Right, but this Abbott family Esau is so smart he can outwit the angels and survive an apocalypse for a year and a half.
Right.
See that? You see that pride?
Right.
Now, the co-writer, director, and star of the movie, John Krasinski. All right, John Krasinski, which the wife is Emily Blunt. That's the actress Emily Blunt, which they're actually married in real life. They're actually a real married couple. But John Krasinski, first of all, he's Polish.
Right.
He's probably a so-called Polish Jew.
Right.
All right. His father's Polish, his mother's Irish.
Right.
But he's probably a so-called Polish Jew.
Right.
Poland has a lot of so-called Jews, Krasinski and all those names. But he's from New England. So you already know he's from Boston.
Yeah, you already know how they get down.
You already know how they get down.
Right.
So in his white supremacist mind, the angels can come and invade the earth.
Right.
But the Edomite white family is smart enough to outwit them and survive. That goes back to their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever. No matter what. Remember, Esau makes thousands of apocalyptic or post-apocalyptic movies, and they always, in some way, somehow, they're going to outsmart the angels and they're going to survive. But
they keep cheating death.
They keep cheating death. But I looked up that Edomite because he has that. He comes from that white supremacist New England. He was born and grew up in Boston, but he went to school in Rhode Island. He went to school in Connecticut, all that
New England,
you got a whole Vermont, Maine, that whole New England, and you know, right? We didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock,
them some special Edomites up there.
Yeah, them some special, different kind of. And anybody from Boston will tell you how them crackers are up there.
Right.
Or New England, period, man. You know what I'm saying? So when you check it out, he's gonna bring his white supremacist mind into Hollywood. Because he figured, listen, they know the angels are black. They know that they're men. I mean, the most I can have an angel appear however he wants to, but for the most part, when you read Ezekiel and certain scriptures, it describes the angels as black men. All right, so they make them into these monsters, but why would you call these monsters death angels? It's almost as if to say that the Most High's angels are monsters, but they are monsters to Esau, because they're going to terrorize the hell out of them when they make their second coming. You understand? But they throw that dynamic in there to show no matter what, how the white family, the Abbott family, this New England white supremacist family. Of course, he'll say he's not racist, to be politically correct, but that's Esau's mind frame. No matter what, we can even outwit and survive the angels of God. Right? But next point is in the movie, right? If you notice, there's really no Jake in it. You know what I'm saying? In part one, there was a Jake. He played a cop. He got killed right away. Then in the second part, it was really only that Hamite actor.
Jaimin Hunsu.
Jaimin Hunsu. Right? You know what I'm saying? And they had like this place, what I call like, not only the Esau or the white family survived, but they went and they had like this place where people was able to survive, and the monsters couldn't find them.
Because they were on the island and these alien monsters can't swim. So they managed to, they figured out that the alien monsters couldn't swim, so everybody that could get to a boat got to a boat and got to this island where they can speak because the aliens can't swim. Like Negroes can't swim.
Which is like Negroes can't swim. Let you know the aliens or death angels are black. Again, you know what I'm saying? But notice he was the only black man there, really, with his son. And I think there was a clip, there was a scene where I think they kind of showed up Jake in the background, shot over Jake, a real quick clip, and then they showed his son, but of course his son would be a Hamite. So it's still going into
Esau and Ham together.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Esau and Ham together. It's still going into that dynamic that Jake is not in the picture. Jake don't survive. He don't, and of course, check it out. Like we always say, Ham is the new Jew. So even we always quote, even on the old like Jehovah's Witness pamphlets, when you see the new kingdom,
right,
you will see a black man in Africa that's
right.
but you will see an American-looking Negro Jake. Because even in this new survival world, they just don't want Jake. They don't want Jake there.
Right.
But then when you check it out, even he dies.
Right.
Right. Even Joman Hunsu.
Yeah.
Even he dies. And I guess it may be a part 3.
Right.
Maybe his little Hamite seed was survive.
Right.
But in real life, he's a Hamite.
Right.
You understand? When you check it out, there was not.
I had it. I was that shit out.
There was not many Jakes.
Right.
There was really no Jake.
No presence. No presence
of Jake at all. So even Esau, going back to that same dynamic, he wants this world without Negroes.
Right.
And without the American black Negro or any other children.
So Lucky, to let me back us up, you said earlier, they make sure, it's a Hollywood trope, it's been for years, that the black dude, the cop, got killed first. He got murdered first.
Right.
In a gruesome way. He pointed the gun, Jake pointed the gun, and the alien snatched him up and just destroyed him quick work. And you know, it's been broke down. The reason why they killed a black dude first is because Esau, these movies are made for Esau's enjoyment, and they have no emotional attachment to a black person dying.
Right.
So that's why they use them as a sacrifice. You know, in the horror movies, they say the black people always die first, because Esau has no emotional attachment. So when they die, they just want to show they use the Jake always as a sacrifice to show the power of the villain.
Right.
Without sacrificing an Edomite main character. Right. So Jake is always the blood sacrifice in order to pump up the power of the villain, whoever the villain is.
And right here, now this is interesting, right? I'm gonna show this. Here's a lineup of the cast. All right, there's John Krasinski there, his wife Emily Blunt. There's this guy, what's his name? Cillian Murphy. Right. So here's the lineup now. There's Ham, Jaman and Sue. Now this guy is a Hamite also. He played the cop.
The cop, yeah.
Look at him. He's got a Hamite name also.
Right.
But if you look, you would think he's a Jake.
Right.
He's a Jake.
He's playing an American cop.
He's playing a black American cop.
Right.
So Ham is the new Judah, even with the damn cop. When he's supposed to be a black American, is a Hamite actor. Now this guy, notice he has no title of what he played.
Right, that's the dude in the background.
That's the dude in the background.
Right.
He has no title. What's his name? Brian Tyree Henry.
Right.
He has no title. Notice here it says policeman. Right, and I forgot what title. What is that?
Man on Island.
Man on Island and policeman. But Jake Judah has no title at all. Right. All right. He was just some nigga in the background. Right. Some imaginary nigga that John Krasinski. Look, the rest of the cast is white. Everybody else is Edomite. Look, there you go. Check it out. Everybody else is Edomite. Now you know John Krasinski. He probably just did that to be.
Yeah, you gotta we can't have everybody be white. Let's throw some token black characters.
Yeah, this brother Brian Tyree Henry.
He don't even have a title.
I'm gonna look up in the credits and see what his title was.
Right.
And I guarantee it's probably gonna say random black.
Yeah, that dude.
Random man in background.
He ran when the alien came.
Right. Random man in the background.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So showing you once again that white supremacy, and like you said, sacrifice Jake. But even the Jake sacrifice was a Hamite.
Right.
So even if you notice, we always bring this out.
Right.
Even the bad parts is being played by Hamites.
Ham taking over. Hollywood.
Ham is even the first sacrificial Negro.
Right. God
damn. But that's how much Esau went up. Just replace Judah in every sense of the word. Every sense of the word.
It's a spiritual thing. You don't want the chosen people.
There was we saw the preview for the Aretha Franklin movie, which was played by Jennifer Hudson.
Right.
Now Aretha Franklin supposedly she requested that Jennifer Hudson
she did.
She dies.
Yeah.
Now the word has it that there was a TV movie made.
Yeah.
Where they had a Hamite play Aretha Franklin. And even Brother Tariq was bringing that out.
Yeah.
What was the if you got a major motion picture?
Why undercut the movie?
Undercut the movie? And make because why? Ham is the new Judah.
Right.
But
they couldn't deny Jennifer Hudson
Right.
because Aretha Franklin is on tape, on video,
Right.
saying they asked her who she wanted to play her. She said
Right.
Jennifer Hudson.
Right.
So they couldn't deny her because it was a request that they can't deny because she
Right.
said it on video.
Right.
But we're going to make our version of it anyway.
Right.
Right.
We're gonna make the Ham is the New Judah
Right.
version. And listen, not for nothing,
Right.
not for nothing, but anyway, not for nothing, but no Hamite woman can capture the spirit of Aretha Franklin.
Right, Khan. No,
You need
hell
a
no.
Judite woman to do
She's
that.
very Judah. At least
That's
Aretha was
why-
very
that's-
Judah.
That's why she requested, you
Right.
know, maybe Aretha didn't look that deep into it.
Right.
But she said, look, this young
That's going to
sister-
come first in your mind. Somebody you can connect
Exactly.
to. You're not going to pick no foreigner to play
Right.
you. Yeah.
This young sister can relate to me.
Right.
I want her to play me in a movie.
Right.
She reminds me of a younger version of me.
Right.
So just, once again, it's just anything to replace Judah with
Right.
Ham or any goddamn body.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So when you check it out, they on a mission to just replace. They want to erase.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The erase Judah from off the earth. man. Right? Like it tell you in Psalms 83, come, let us cut them off as a people,
Right.
that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
Right.
They want to just wipe you out and eradicate you.
Right.
All right. So, what else I'm going into?
So Lucky, to let me back off that, when the African woman is playing Aretha Franklin, they still get a Judite woman to do the overdubs, to do the vocals.
Right.
So
Exactly.
you don't got that spirit, you know?
You can't get around that spirit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can't get around that spirit. So, all right. So another part. Notice something. What was his name? The Murphy.
Cillian Murphy.
Cillian Murphy.
Yeah.
He made a statement, and remember, he told the daughter and the mother. He said, "Listen, the people that are left over are not worth saving."
Right.
Right, that was them scavengers.
Right.
Remember when they went to the boats?
Yeah.
And them Edomite scavengers
Right.
came and looked like they was about to cannibalize them.
Yeah,
I
Khan.
rape them and didn't eat them.
Khan.
Or something like that. But that goes into how it's going to be in these last days.
Right.
The quality of people is going to be so
Degenerate.
disgusting and degenerate
Right.
that the Most High is only coming back to say one
Khan.
word of Israel.
Khan.
It's going to be fulfillment of the scripture 1 John 5 and I believe it's 19.
Right.
We know that we are of Yahweh and the whole world lieth in wickedness.
Right.
He was like, look, the people that are left over, they're not worth saving. They're a bunch of degenerates and filth. But when you check it out, everything with Esau goes back to we have to save, we have to survive
Right.
anything. No matter
Right.
what happens, they believe they're going to survive any apocalypse, any destruction,
Right.
anything that the Most High bring down upon them, and it's not going to happen.
Right. Salakia,
Esau.
to let me back off what you said about how things are going to get degenerate, you saw a lot of examples of that during the pandemic. To take one off the top of my head, this actually happened in South Africa. And you know, South Africa has the caste system. They have the whites, they have the brown people. They actually have a brown system, and then they have the blacks.
Right.
So this brown person, a lot of the brown people from everywhere. Some of them are from India. They're from these brown countries. Some of them are Arabic, and they go to South Africa and they get in the in-between brown system. They were in a supermarket. This is the pandemic. And this woman was hoarding toilet paper.
Right.
This woman had a whole pile of toilet paper. And this dark-skinned Hamite South African woman, she says, all I want is one. And I guess the woman might have been East Indian South African. She goes, no, she was fighting the woman, telling the woman, she says, give me one. She had the 6-pack of the toilet paper. And the woman was like, no, you're not getting none. She could have spared one. How is she hoarding all the toilet paper? The lady said, I just want one. So that goes to show you how this pandemic gave you a preview of how people could be low life and degenerate and have no respect of she had at least 8 of the 6 rolls of 6 toilet paper, and the lady said there was no more on the shelf. And the lady said, that's not fair. I just want one. Give me one of them packs. And she told her no.
Well, that actually happened here, where an Edomite, excuse y'all, where an Edomite woman actually, I catch a case on.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Doing a movie review. You know what I'm saying? Some people have to chill. But anyway, degenerates.
Degenerates,
you know
right.
They
just smoke it up.
Right, you know what I'm saying? People are so happy to get out
so
of
much
the pandemic.
to walk behind.
They just have no respect. But anyway, back to the fact of the matter. That happened here though. There was an incident at a Dollar Tree.
Wow.
Where a white woman went, I guess she got a heads up. A lot of people didn't know yet. She got a heads up and she went and bought the entire truck.
Wow.
Of all the toilet paper that came into the Dollar Tree for that day, she bought all of it.
Wow.
And then she had it lifted up onto her truck.
Wow. People are unbelievable.
And it was like, well, what are you doing? But it hadn't really got bad.
Right.
And then there was an Edomite that he went somewhere, he bought up a whole bunch of toilet paper or paper towels, something.
Right.
And then he was trying to sell it on Amazon or something, whatever, for this astronomical
they were
profit.
selling,
you know what I'm saying?
Like in March of 2020, they were selling toilet paper to Amazon.
Yeah.
They had face masks they were selling for $100 a piece on Amazon.
They had damn paper towels.
Yeah.
They had Lysol for $2,000.
Yeah, hand sanitizer.
Yeah, they had cans of Lysol
around
for
March, early April of 2020.
So to show you the degenerate, how society can start to collapse.
Once it collapses, people show their true self, how evil and greedy they could be. You know.
That's why even I keep bringing it out, and we're gonna be bringing this out all summer because it's gonna be happening.
Right.
They brought out on ABC News that the pandemic, because of the pandemic, they said people are gonna come out, but they're estimating that mass shootings, suicide, and drug overdoses are going to be on a high level this summer because people are still reeling from the pandemic. So they're going to come out, but they damn near don't know how to deal with society no more. And they still got overlaying depression and things of that nature that they're suffering from. So they're already predicting there's going to be mass shooting, suicide, and drug overdoses. But that's all judgment of the Most High. Right? Because the Most High, just like the movie The Quiet Place Part 2, the Most High said He's going to start to take those on the earth in great number. You know what I'm saying? Tell you that in 2nd Ezra, and then in Isaiah it says, behold, the Lord maketh the earth empty. Because a lot of death and destruction going to start happening to these people. So even as the system and society is declining, the people are going to become more and more degenerate. So that's why the Edomite said, it's not, these people are not worth saving. Remember, it tells you in the last days, perilous times shall come. Men shall become lovers of themselves, hateful, boasters, proud. Lovers of self more than lovers of God. It's all prophecy. You know, it says, because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. So as more prophecy starts to happen, you're going to see the quality of people degenerate. And only quality of people is going to be the 1/3 of Israel. 2/3 of our people, Esau and the nations, they're going to be the lowest of the low. All right, so what you want to add on?
I just got one little, because the movie was cut and dry, and plus you covered basically, there was no deep breakdown. But to add on one more thing, you had Esau's in these because Esau, this is a thing for Esau. Esau comes out with these apocalyptic movies every year. So if you know, and with that said, a lot of stuff they are basing on stuff that they're thinking about or stuff that they know they're preparing for. For example, they had the spirit of the bunker. Like when they finally she decided to move forward. From part 1, they were in the house. So part 2, they was looking for other people. So they ran across this booby trap factory, and the boy stepped into a bear trap. The Esau gonna fall into his own net. So when he stepped into the bear trap, the Cillian Murphy's character was making his home in the factory, and the factory had a bunker underground, so he could survive underground and go inside the bunker where the sound couldn't be heard. But Esau has a version of that for real. Esau has these bunkers. There's bunkers in New York. They have secret little bunkers under the condos, and of course Colorado has a whole underground world of bunkers, and they have a few of those across the country where they literally have little mini cities underground. So Esau's subliminally showing you of that bunker spirit that they know that this day is coming. They have underground. They even kind of show you that in the movie Us about this underground world. That's really real. And Esau's prepared. Even Esau with these homes in the Midwest and stuff. They build their own underground they call it a fallout shelter. They build their own underground bunker. So they always put that bunker spirit in most of the apocalyptic movies, but that's based on something real.
Check it out. The History Channel got a series on it. It's called Cities of the Underworld. Yeah, they got it. And literally, when you check it out, when you do research, Esau been building them for hundreds of years. They knew their day was coming. They don't know when. Right, but they knew their day was coming. They tell you they've been building. Some of these cities go back to our time.
Right,
because we had the underground cities. We had catacombs. Well, we was hiding from Esau.
Right, hiding from them.
Invasion. Right. So they kind of copied that and reversed it, and they made cities of the underworld for them. Right. Because they said, listen, let's get a head start. And that's that spirit too. Oh, that's another dynamic I want to bring out in the movie. Esau feels he's going to survive so much. That's why the father sacrificed himself. Right. And the little girl was willing to sacrifice herself. Right. Because they got that spirit. Remember, they had a little baby in the house. So they got that spirit like, well, even if I die, my white family and children
will move on. They'll live on.
That's why they prepare hundreds of years in advance. Right. Because if you look at it like, why are you building something in the 1800s for the year 2000? Right, because what? You figure, well, even with my death and demise, my children and my seed line will live on. The white seed is going to live on. Right. They're going to live on. And that's how much pride they got. Because they prideful, even in your death, it's like, well, I'll still rule through my children. Right, you know what I'm saying? I'll look from the satanic underworld, and my children will still be moving. You know what I'm saying? So that's that spirit of pride that they got. That's why they like, well, I'll sacrifice myself because my children and my family, they're going to live on forever anyway. Right. You know what I'm saying? Or Esau got that spirit like, I just might save the day. Right. So he can be the damn hero again. Right. Because remember the little girl, the Murphy character, he told her it's too dangerous to go back and try to save those people. She said, no, I have to. Right. Esau they just gotta have that hero spirit. Right. No matter what, even if the odds are all stacked against them. Right. I gotta do it because I'm the savior of the world. Right. And that's really taken away from Yahushua. Right, right. They're trying to reflect Yahushua as heathens, you know? They try to embody, they try to be the embodiment of the spirit of Yahushua. Right. Through heathens, a little white girl. Right. Or some Indian dude, or some, what was it, Independence Day, some drunk Edomite man. Yeah. And I'm gonna be the savior. I'm back. Right, so they try to embody that spirit of Yahushua. Anybody. Right. You know, I'm gonna be the living spirit of Jesus Christ. Right. You know what I'm saying? Anything but a big, huge Jake coming from the fourth dimension. You know what I'm saying? So that dynamic was in there also. Right. But I guess as we go along, more stuff will come out. Yeah. And one more thing, their beginning will be their end, because Esau came from the caves, and he's trying to go back to the caves. Right. In these bunkers. Right. And when you check it out, but yeah, back to that. The Amish lady too. The Amish are out here. Yeah. Jebediah. When you check it out too. Right. It tell you in Isaiah 2:19. Right. Because not only do they have bunkers underground, you know, they got the mountains and stuff. Right. They're gonna try to go up into. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. The Most High. Right. All right. They tell you the Denver airport. Right. The Denver airport is nothing but a concentration camp / bunker. Right. Right, because all the changes and different stuff. And when you look on the murals and everything of the Denver airport, they kind of show you martial law. Right. They got on gas masks and all that. Right, and that telling on themselves. So, Lakia, the reason why they chose Denver for specifically is because it's a mile high. Right. So the altitude is a mile above sea level. Right. So when nuclear fallout happened, the air is going to be cleaner up there. Right. So that's why they selected that specifically. Right. It's on a higher plateau. Right. Yeah, you know, and with that bunker spirit, like you said, when you check it out, they was like in a bunker within a bunker. Right. Because remember, they went into the first metal tube thing. Right. And that was like a bunker. And then they went into
the deeper level of the cave.
Deeper level of the cave and
Right.
the bunker.
Right.
So that was like the bunker of the bunker.
Right.
And when you check it out, like I said, they've been building underground cities and stuff for hundreds of years. But that bunker spirit got heavy after 9/11.
Right.
A lot of people don't know that. After 9/11, they said there was a company that came out and they were building like these 3-month temporary bunkers that you were supposed to be able to survive in for 3 months.
Right.
All right, you can, and a lot of Edomites were getting them built under their homes or on their property. You know what I'm saying? That was very big after 9/11.
Right.
And it also got real big in 2010.
Right.
Because remember the whole 2012 hot hysteria that the world was going to end in 2012. So I did some research back then, and starting in 2009 and 2010, they said bunker sales were going up by the hundreds, thousands, millions. They said people were spending, especially rich people, they were spending up to $1 million to build bunkers on their property.
Right.
And of course, nothing happened in 2012, but they don't know that.
If you look at the spirit behind that, it's about preservation. The bunker will preserve you. Another thing Esau likes to do, it's a lesser form of a bunker, but it's still a form of protection and preservation. Esau likes to, in their condos, in their homes, if you're a wealthy Edomite with some means, they like to have in their house what's known as a panic room. It's a room that looks, you would not know where it is. It's built in the wall, but you wouldn't, unless they showed it to you. It could be a panel. They'll pull it back and they'll go inside of it, and they can lock themselves in from behind. All those people that live in Hollywood, every Hollywood house, if you're a rich Edomite, you're not going to have one without a panic room. That's like a bathroom to them. They're going to have if you live in a condo, they're going to have a panic room. If somebody busts in your house because you're rich and you have stuff of value, which that happens all the time in LA, Hollywood. They always get home invasions out there because it's not, their houses be so big that they be holes in there, and even with security, they find their way to get up in there. It happens all the time today. It happened to Kendall Jenner recently. She had some Edomite come up in there. He was in her pool swimming butt naked. You know? So situations like, because there's so many ways to get around the security to get in their house. So they go inside. If something happens, they can scream and go in their room. They have a phone in there. Somebody's in my house, but they'll be in a panic room. They can't get to them because they're locked from the inside. And they have that. All these condos have that. But
remember, they made Jodie Foster made
a movie called Panic Room. So Esau is always trying to preserve himself. He like Jake in Jake's 2/3 mind. Jake want to do the opposite. Jake want to smoke Newports. Jake want to shoot at each other. Jake want to, I'm going to body that nigga. Jake is trying to off himself, where Esau wants to last, but Jake just don't have no, spiritually, Jake is in his hell. So Jake don't care to exit this kingdom. You don't have nothing here. This is Esau's everything. So they don't want to die for nothing. That's why Rockefeller had 100 heart transplants. They want to preserve. So that's the overwhelming theme of what goes into these survival things. Esau want to preserve himself.
And they would spend millions of dollars in Hollywood to live out that fantasy. And to say, look, I'm gonna put it on screen and make it a reality in my mind. And it might happen. You know So that's Esau, like you said, Esau is everything is preservation. Because like I said, with The Quiet Place 2, it's like layers of survival. It's like the father died. He sacrificed himself. Then it's the mother, the 2 children, and the baby. Okay, now the daughter will sacrifice herself. But it's still the son and the mother and the baby. Now the mother will sacrifice herself. But it's the son and the baby. It's that layers of survival. So Esau's like, no matter what, we're going to survive. And then when you look at it at the end, that's what happened. I didn't give the end away, but the end of the movie, they both took out the aliens at the same time. So, that's another thing too. When the scriptures tell you, when the Most High give us that power, no weapon that is formed against you shall prosper. That's talking about men. Imagine the angels. Now they said they could weaken the angels through sound. It almost was like Esau's siren. Like that annoying damn sound in your ear. Like when you get pulled over by the police or the siren go off.
That feedback.
Is that damn sound? I think that shock niggas into submission.
Yeah, con.
So basically, they were trying to say with this sound,
Right.
they can weaken the angels.
Right.
And then the angels are vulnerable where they can shoot them and kill them.
Right.
That reminds me of the movie Predator.
Con.
When they said if it bleeds, we can kill it.
Right.
You cannot kill the angel.
Nah, you're not going to shoot the angel.
And Esau played himself because the monsters are known as death angels.
Right,
So you're not going to kill the angels of the Most High.
Right.
If the Most High said, no weapon that is formed, Isaiah 54,
Right.
no weapon that is formed against his servants.
Right.
When he give us the power, if it be his will, no weapon that is formed shall prosper.
Right.
How is the weapons going to prosper against the angels of
Right,
God?
con.
Right, you know what I'm saying? And that's going to be that beauty, because even the Lord going to show that I'm so powerful, I can give human beings on the earth
Right.
power to withstand Esau.
Right.
Because Esau, that's another, how can we forget that?
God.
That's another underlying theme of Esau's survival movies, his
Right.
conventional weapons.
Right, con.
He always think, damn it, if when the Most High said, that's why whoever said Esau is not the white man is bugged out of their damn.
Right, con.
When Genesis 27 and 40 said, by the sword he should live, if that's not Esau, who the hell? Even in his movies,
Right.
even in this movie, a regular shotgun
Right.
was able to defeat the angel.
Right.
No.
No.
But if you think for a second that Esau is not the so-called white man,
Right.
you're not putting all the clues together.
Right, con.
You're not putting all the breadcrumbs together.
Con.
You're not putting the puzzle together.
Mhm.
Because Esau always believed his conventional weapons, his sword,
Right.
can always save the day.
Con.
If that's not the so-called white man doing it.
Right, con.
And you
That
know,
was the
I
sword.
could basically end it with that, because
Right.
in the end of the movie, both of the Edomite women kill the aliens, the
Right.
death angels,
Mhm.
which symbolizes the angels of the Most High.
Right.
So we're going to kill off the angels of the Lord, and we're going to survive forever and ever
Right.
with our conventional weapons.
Right.
But you could not kill off the angels of the Most High
God.
with a damn shotgun or any weapon.
God.
But just goes to show you Esau, his inward thought is that his house will continue forever.
God.
By Shema Mashiach.
By Shema Mashiach, yo,
A
what's up?
Quiet Place 2.
Quiet Place 2.
All right, so anything else, Nala?
One real quick point.
Bring it out.
Also, Esau, you saw an example of that preservationist spirit within the race when the whole Meghan Markle and Prince Harry thing, that Oprah Winfrey interview with them Edomites in England and even Edomites here went crazy because Prince Harry admitted that there's racism in the royal family, and he even low-key tried to say, yo, they murked my mother. So they value their seed line so far that Princess Diana was already divorced from Charles. So why should they even care? But they still like, nah, you're still too close. You're still the mother of the future King of England. And no, you cannot, his brother cannot be brown. You know what I'm saying? So when Meghan Markle went through, they was trying to make her suicidal and try to kill herself. You know, to keep it short, you can go an hour about that alone, but to keep it short, Esau will take it that far to preserve that line, where even though they got plenty of white family members that child will never touch the throne. Esau still don't care. You don't want that blood even mingling in the family, and don't want to give any other new family members ideas that we good with doing that. So that's that preservation.
She would not. They would not let her have that Dodi Fayed.
Right.
Because they call it Arab sand niggas.
Right.
They call them sand niggas.
Right. They're non-white.
Remember the movie Siege? The Siege?
Right. Cut.
Remember when Denzel's partner was an Arab.
Right.
But he was an FBI agent.
Right.
And then remember when they martial law concentration camps.
Right.
When they went and they rounded up all the young Arabs in Brooklyn,
right?
They rounded his son up.
Mm-hmm.
He was an FBI agent, but they rounded his son up also.
Right.
And he went into the concentration camps looking for his son.
Right.
And then Denzel said, no, calm down. We're gonna find him. Right. And he said, no. He said, listen, I'm not leaving here until I find my son.
Right.
I'm not leaving this place till I find my son.
Right.
And he took his badge.
Mm-hmm.
He took his badge and he threw his badge to Denzel.
Right.
And he said, here, take it.
Right.
He said, tell him I'm not they sand nigga.
Right.
So they look at the Arabs as sand niggas.
Exactly.
when they killed Diana, which they show you they killed Diana in the movie 2012.
Right,
They alluded to it in the movie 2012.
Right.
And that's like an open secret.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody kind of know that already.
Right.
But the point being, they showed you that, but they said we refuse to have you pregnant.
Right.
This sad nigga's baby.
Right.
Would not see that royal, so-called royal line of England, Europe. They don't play that.
No, not at all.
They go back. A lot of people don't know the so-called royal families. They go back to Nazi Germany.
Right.
All right. They come out of Nazi Germany.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But you know, that's a whole other hour we can go into that.
Right.
But they don't play that with that Edomite, that strict racist Edomite bloodline.
Right.
That's why I was saying the director, going back to A Quiet Place 2, the director of this movie, John
Krasinski, yeah.
He's got that background also.
Right.
He also went to school in England.
Right.
All right. And his wife, Emily Blunt, she's from England.
Right.
Right, so, and don't tell me the UK is not just as racist as America.
Right.
They even worse with they
God.
They call themselves the royal family.
That's why Sharon Osbourne got fired of that show. She was telling that I forgot the name of that comedian. Don't you ever? She was waving it because she was like, she was siding with Piers Morgan because they mad about that. The English people they don't really want that black woman represent because she's a representative to them. So they're like, no, that ain't our people. And then Meghan Markle. And Meghan Markle don't even mess with black. She was raised around white people. They don't even know the dynamic that she didn't even grow up around black people. But in their mind, her father's white. They don't understand that.
The higher ups know. That nigga blood is still in them. That's what you know what I'm saying? But her father's Edomite.
Right.
But that nigga blood is still in them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So that makes them they furious about that.
Yeah, they furious about that.
Yeah.
That Sharon Osbourne, who was that sister?
Her name is Sharon. Yes. I can't. I'm having a brain freeze.
That is that mammy spirit.
Yeah.
That's that mammy on that show.
Right. Cheryl something. Cheryl something.
Yeah, Cheryl something.
Yeah.
But anyway, with John Krasinski, he's got that New England, that England, that UK, that he's got that spirit in him also. Right, even though his father's Polish, but it's all the same.
Right.
It's that same energy and spirit. You know, so A Quiet Place 2.
Right. By
Shimon
Mashiach.
That's the movie review.
And part 3, they need to come to Times Square, those aliens, and rip this place up because it's damn noisy as hell in this Times Square.
The Death Angels.
Yeah,
The Death Angels need to come to Times Square and rip this place up. But Israel, they're getting shot at.
Noisy Times Square. Usher team up excellence. Yeah, exactly.
Right, but anyway, that's in Israel. Me and brother Nala back at it again. Salakia, you know, the planned pandemic kind of shut things down. And we like to do the movie reviews with a certain dynamic. So we back at it again for this time that it stays open.
Right.
Until they shut it down again. Check it out. Let us know what y'all think. Once again, don't be simple. If there's anything we missed out on, add on.
Right.
I said, piece of box, you forgot this stuff.
And that's for you to do.
You left out this part.
That's for you to leave in the comments.
That's for you to comment.
Right. We can't say every.
How could you not mention that part?
Right.
That's for you to mention. You know what I'm saying? And we may have not missed it.
Right.
It's just we go off the top of the head from what we remember of the movie.
Right.
Half of this stuff wasn't even from my notes.
Right.
It was all through the spirit.
All
right. So that's what y'all add, y'all commentary and things that y'all saw. If you want to go a little deeper, knock yourself out. That makes you the better man. Okay, you went deeper into the movie. All praise to Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. You didn't see this part. That was deep though,
Right.
All right. That's what you'll bring it out. All right. So leave your comments or whatever. Check it out. You know what I'm saying? You know, watch the movie first and then come back, check out this commentary. And we'll come back. We'll try to come back with a few more commentaries for the summer and while things are open to break down some of these movies for them. H.O.I to the chariots fly. Hallelujah. All praises. Come Yashala. We still got legs. H.O.I pull up boys. All praises to Yahweh, Yahweh Shai forever and ever. Amen. Pre-Sabak.
Brother in Allah.
Right. H.O.I to the chariots fly. All the camps of Yahweh, Yahweh Shai throughout the four corners of the earth. That's our review on A Quiet Place 2. Check it out, Israel. Let us know what y'all think. Leave y'all comments, subscribe, and keep this work going.
Shalom.